From unexpected rallies to shocking final points, tennis history is filled with moments that left fans and players alike stunned. Whether it's a newcomer toppling a legend or a comeback that seemed impossible, these upsets forever changed the sport. Today we're diving into the 5 biggest upsets in tennis history, moments that no one saw coming but that we'll never forget. Grab your racket and let's relive the drama, the tension, and the unforgettable victories that shook the tennis world. This was one of the most unbelievable upsets in tennis history. Nadal had never lost at Roland Garros, winning 4 straight French Open titles and boasting an incredible 31-0 record at the tournament. He was the overwhelming favorite and widely considered unstoppable on clay. Meanwhile, Soderling, ranked number 25, had never beaten Nadal before and was not expected to be a serious threat. However, the Swedish underdog played fearless, ultra-aggressive tennis, hitting winners from every corner of the court and overpowering Nadal in 4 sets. This match was a turning point in tennis history that marked Nadal's first ever loss at Roland Garros. Soderling's win shocked the world and remains one of the greatest upsets in Grand Slam history. Don't miss out. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch our latest and greatest videos. This match marked one of the most unexpected defeats in Wimbledon history. Federer, the defending champion and 7-time Wimbledon winner, was coming off a strong 2012 season, where he had reclaimed the world number 1 ranking. On the other hand, Stakhovsky, ranked number 116, had never advanced past the 3rd round of a Grand Slam and was largely unknown outside of tennis circles. Federer was heavily favored, but Stakhovsky played an old-school serve and volley style, rushing the net and keeping Federer off balance. In a stunning 4-set victory, the Ukrainian executed his game plan to perfection, frustrating Federer and pulling off one of the biggest upsets in modern tennis. This defeat ended Federer's 36 consecutive Grand Slam quarter-final streak, a record of 9 years of dominance in major tournaments. It also signaled a shift in his career, as questions arose about whether his dominance was fading. Stakhovsky's win remains one of Wimbledon's greatest shockers, proving that even the greatest can be toppled by an inspired underdog. This was one of the most unbelievable losses in tennis history, as Serena Williams was on the verge of achieving a calendar Grand Slam, winning all 4 majors in a single year, a feat last accomplished by Steffi Graf in 1988. She had already conquered the Australian Open, French Open, and Wimbledon and needed just 2 more wins at the US Open to complete the historic achievement. Roberta Vinci, ranked number 43, was a doubles specialist who had never reached a Grand Slam semifinal in singles before. Virtually no one gave her a chance. Serena had dropped just 2 sets the entire tournament and was expected to steamroll her way into the final. However, Vinci executed a brilliant tactical game plan, using her slice, touch, and variety to disrupt Serena's rhythm. Despite losing the first set, Vinci stunned the world by rallying back to win in front of a shocked New York crowd. The loss was so devastating that Serena skipped the rest of the season. Vinci, meanwhile, was so overwhelmed by her victory that she apologized to the crowd in her now iconic post-match interview, acknowledging she had just ended one of the greatest runs in tennis history. This match remains one of the most unexpected and heartbreaking defeats of Serena's career and is considered one of the biggest upsets in Grand Slam history. This was one of the biggest upsets in Australian Open history, as Novak Djokovic, a 6-time champion in Melbourne, was eliminated in just the 2nd round by Denis Istomin, ranked number 117. Djokovic was a heavy favorite. Not only was he the defending champion, but he had won 5 of the last 6 Australian Opens and was widely considered the king of Melbourne. Meanwhile, Istomin, a wild-card entry, had never made it past the 4th round of a Grand Slam and had a 0-5 head-to-head record against Djokovic. Almost no one expected him to pose a real threat. However, Istomin played the match of his life, hitting massive serves and fearless ground strokes, while Djokovic struggled with consistency. After an intense 4 hours and 48 minutes, Istomin pulled off an astonishing 3-2 victory, leaving the tennis world stunned. This loss marked Djokovic's earliest Grand Slam exit in nearly a decade and signaled the start of a difficult period in his career, where he struggled with injuries and form. On the other hand, Istomin called it the best match of his life, cementing his place in tennis history with one of the sport's most improbable victories. This was one of the most unbelievable Cinderella stories in tennis history. Yelena Ostapenko, ranked number 47, came into the 2017 French Open without a single WTA title to her name. She had never reached a Grand Slam final before and was barely on the radar as a serious contender. Her opponent, Simona Halep, was the heavy favorite, an experienced top player ranked number 3 in the world. Halep had already been to a French Open final, 2014, and was widely expected to finally capture her first Grand Slam title. She played controlled, defensive tennis and took a commanding 6-4, 3-0 lead, seemingly on her way to victory. But Ostapenko had other plans. Instead of crumbling under pressure, the fearless 20-year-old unleashed an all-out assault, blasting 54 winners in just 3 sets, an unheard-of number on the slow clay of Roland Garros. She played aggressive, fearless tennis, hitting winners from both wings and stunning Halep with her raw power. She roared back to win the match 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, becoming the first unseeded woman to win the French Open since 1933 and the lowest-ranked player to win a Grand Slam in over 40 years. This victory was shocking not just because of who won, but how she won, with zero fear, relentless aggression, and a total disregard for the moment. It was a career-defining match that turned Ostapenko into an overnight star and left the tennis world in awe. Those were the 5 biggest upsets in tennis history, but now I want to hear from you. Which one do you think was the most shocking? Or do you have another upset that you think deserves a spot on this list? Let me know in the comments.